What's going on, drivers? What's going on, drivers? My trucker's keeper checking in today with a short video in response to a comment that I received on one of my last videos. Today is Sunday morning. I'm currently in Troy, Alabama. I've been here since Friday. My truck has been in the shop. No, my truck didn't break down, leave me stranded here. This is actually where my personal mechanic is. He's out of Troy, Alabama, and I'm just doing a little bit of preventative maintenance. And I also had an issue this past week with my muffler breaking, and I'll put a picture here so you guys can get an idea of what happened. That's the biggest issue that I had, and also just a few things that needed to be changed out on the truck because it is an older truck, and like I said, taking some preventative measures to make sure I don't get stranded out on the road. What could cost me just a little bit of money here in Troy could cost me a lot more on the road. So we're just taking some preventative maintenance, preventative measures to make sure we can avoid that. So, like I said, it's going to be a very short video, and it's in response to a comment that a subscriber left on one of my videos. So the subscriber pretty much asked me, hey, my trucker's keeper, I just recently got my CDL. What are the best companies, or what is the best company to go with just a month of driving experience? I've said this before, and it should pretty much be known amongst the industry that when you first get with a company, rather you go through a traditional driving school where they train you and you get your CDL through them, and they have job placement, or companies that come up to the school and offer employment for new drivers, or you go to a mega carrier and go through their school and they hire you on after you obtain your CDL. It still remains, I always tell new drivers to stick with the company that hires you on, or your first company that you go with, for at least a year. You know what I mean? At least a year. I know that, in this game, we get into it a lot of the times for the money that we hear everybody makes. And just to keep it short and sweet, the money is there to be made. However, you have to put your work in. In order for you to get to a certain level, you got to take the certain steps in trucking. Yes, you can make good money. Yes, you can go from $1,000 a week to $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 a week, but it's levels to it, and it's different things. It depends on, are you leasing, are you owning, are you a company driver? Do you have your own authority? Are you leased onto a company once you obtain your own truck? There's different factors, but yet and still, there's still levels to it, and you have to take these certain steps. You really can't skip steps. Some people can, but majority of us have to take certain steps, necessary steps, to get to that point where we are actually satisfied and have a sense of fulfillment from what we heard about the trucking industry. So, to keep it short and sweet, again, any company that will hire you with however much experience you have, whether you don't have a CDL and you're just getting in the game, or you got your CDL, you didn't decide to go with the companies that came for job placement at the trucking school you went to, or if you worked for a company, if you went through a mega carrier school and you got hired on and you only worked for them for about a month or whatever. Once you get to any one of those scenarios, once you get to that point, any company that will take you and put you in a truck is a good company to work for. There are some companies out there that we hear of. I always mention CR England. It's been a long time since I've been in that loop with the mega carriers and new drivers or whatever. Me personally, I started with Swift Transportation, and I know a lot of people laugh about them and, oh, they can't drive and whatever. Swift put me in the game. That's what I started with. That's what I put my first year of experience in with. And that's how I got my trucking career started. Point blank, period. However you want it doesn't matter to me. But again, any company that will take you in whatever situation you are in, if you don't have at least really like 2 years of driving experience, you really don't have much of a choice in this trucking game. Unless you know somebody that can plug you in, or you can find a loophole or something. I'm not going to get into all those details, but generally, you want to stick with the company that will hire you. You know what I mean? Any company that'll put you in the truck and get you trained, get you making money is a good company to roll with. While you're with that company for that year, you need to learn everything you need to learn. You need to be paying attention. You need to be putting you a plan together on your next move if you're not satisfied. But it's not really going to help you much for being with a company just a month and trying to move on to something next, real quick. Like I've said before, when I first started driving trucks, after I did, and I didn't do a full year at Swift, so let me retract. Let me go back on that. I didn't do a full year at Swift. I probably did about 7 to 8 months at Swift Transportation, and I found a loophole. I found the owner operator owned about 5 trucks, and he was doing container work. And I kind of lied a little bit. This is way before. This is like I said, he had a small company. You know what I mean? And he gave me a chance. After I lied on my application and told him I had a year experience, and he didn't really care much about verifying the experience because he was a small company, just a few trucks, and he didn't even drive himself. So he was just looking to get somebody in the truck. I was comfortable with the truck at the time. When I got in and got into training, I paid attention. I worked hard to learn everything I felt like I needed to know before I moved on from Swift. So that's one of the loopholes, and people you may know, like, a network you may be in, and somebody can plug you in. When I say stuff like that, that's what I mean. So I did find a guy to put me in the game, pretty much after my 7 to 8 months at Swift, and that's how I got my career started in the trucking industry. Now we're talking July this year will be 8 years that I've been driving trucks. So we're talking a little over 7 years ago that I did that. A lot has changed. I'm not really in the loop with the whole companies and all of that, but I do know that it still stands that you need to stick with the company that hires you and gives you a chance to get in the truck and make some money for you and your family, period. Where was I? So yeah, pretty much any company that will hire you and put you in the truck to make money is a company to go with. Now, all I'm gonna do when you subscribers come to me and ask me a question, or come on Instagram and drop a DM and ask me a question about trucking, unless it's like a company that I've been with specifically, which I haven't been with many mega carriers, all I'm gonna pretty much do is research, and that's what you guys need to do. Some questions that I receive, and this is no shot at the guy who asked me this comment or anything, but this is just in general. Anybody who watches this video that wants more information, it's okay to ask questions, but in the same time that you're asking questions, you need to do what somebody like me is going to do. If you ask me, I'm going to either call around in the network that I'm in and ask a few questions, but most of the time I'm going to jump online and I'm literally going to Google it. I mean, the same question you asked me, I'm going to go right on Google. What is the best company that'll hire you with 1 month experience? All type of things will pop up. Go through each website that pops up. Make some phone calls. Call the recruiter. We know, recruiters, they say stuff here and there, whatever, but they bend and twist the truth of what's really going on with the company. But make some phone calls. Talk to people. Have you a pen and a pad. Write down notes, and figure out figure out what situation is going to be best for you, or what company will accept you for the situation you're in. And that's pretty much it. There's not a lot to it. I'll go over it again. Any company that will hire you and put you in the game is a good company to go with. Have you a plan though? Because if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. You gotta have your plan going into any situation. All right. How long am I gonna be here? Yeah, like I said, how long am I gonna? You gotta ask yourself, how long do I want to be here? Where do I want to go next? What is my end goal in the trucking industry? And put you a plan together. You have to research. You got to get on that internet and Google and write down your notes. You have to make phone calls and ask all the questions, because in a minute I'm gonna go back to $25 hour consultations, and I think that's just fair, you know, especially a guy like me who is running his own business right now. I don't really have a lot of time to, you know, sit down and do things like that. But I understand that, you know, I'm just not getting back to the YouTube game, and I'm still here. I'm still my trucker's keeper. I'm still here to help where I can. You know what I mean? But I'm my priority. You dig? And so you need to be your priority, and you know, make sure that you're doing the necessary research, making the phone calls, and asking the questions that'll help you out with the plan you're putting together. All right. With that being said, make sure you're stacking your money up and putting a plan together to get out that truck one day, move on to something else. Because I mean, we out here, we getting minimum sleep, we ripping and running up the roads, and we won't be able to do this forever, man. So remember, put your plan together, man. Because if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. I am my trucker's keeper, aka the neighborhood trucker. Make sure to holler at your boy when you see me coming down.